They decides to come on. Oh, what's going on, people? What is going on? You are now to yeah, my bad, y'all. Yeah, the computer done messed up on me. Hey man, y'all now tuning in to the heavy hitters. Let's get it. Boom. See, there you go. Yeah, not like want to be my friend today. Okay, what's going on, people? What is going on? As you already know, this is Wednesday, the Wednesday before Turkey Day. And we appreciate y'all spending it with us, your boys, the heavy hitters. ATL. Oh. Hey. I am your host, the sixth man, K Styles in the building. Over on this side, stage left, as you already know, the mad scientist, Senator Palpatine himself, Mad Mike Sports. And down at the bottom of the screen, as you already know, you need a calm before the storm. We got the minister, Jew, talk, sports, and we are your heavy hitters. Boom! And we're gonna kick this show off right. As you already know, we got the three special words we always start with this show. And that is the what, fellas? Bang! And today's roll call, we're gonna kick it off with Joseph Thornton, Raymond Elder, Pat Norris, Jamarius 58, Juan, the Falcon therapist. Like I said, you make sure you show those two some love, man. Melvin Emery. We got Mr. Adamsville Darnell in the building. Pamela Johnson, Prince Kale, Andrew G. What's good, homie? Nathan Floyd, Bubba Gump. We got a real 90s baby. We got Toxic Falcon, D. Coleman, RC Plane Builder, Donald Curtis. Hey, man, we got Asia in the building. It's been a good little while since we seen you in here. Appreciate you joining us as usual. Dre Murphy, YMOF Jamal. We got Sonia. That's my people's right there. Mucho Grundy. We got Workflow Dre, the Autobots. Merv got 777. Jackpot, baby. And hopefully the Falcons get that jackpot Sunday. So let's go ahead and also Big Ant just popped in the building. Y'all make sure you show him some love too. Melvin, I thought I said your name. My fault, man, because I seen you did about like 9 different comments. I thought I said your name. My apologies, homie. And just because of that, we're gonna make you the last shout out of the roll call. Hey, are we good now? We good, Melvin? You gonna be the last roll. So we're gonna kick it off in 3, 2. All right, let's go ahead and get into this, man. As we already know, Falcons coming off a win against the Chicago Bears that are now 5-6. As y'all already know, your boys, the heavy hitters, was at that game. It was Juice's first time at the Benz. What did you think about the Benz, man? What did you think about the Benz, man?
Oh, it was nice, man. Really, really nice. The concessions was nice. You know what I'm saying? Had the kids with me, had the wife with me. My parents came down, so we had a good time. My younger sister and my brother-in-law. So it was dope seeing the heavy hitters together for the first time. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna have to do it again. I'm already
Yeah.
conspiring, trying to come down. If we make the playoffs, the heavy hitters might be in the building again. So we're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
do something with the fans can. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Talk
right,
with us and
right.
stuff like that. But it was definitely dope being out in the Benz for the first time, and we had a home field advantage. I can say that the real Falcons fans, diehard fans, was out there supporting the team, and we ruined Justin Fields' homecoming. So that was real good.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
freezing our damn asses off waiting on
Bruh,
that damn
That's
game.
probably why the bin wasn't full. Shoot, that's why the
they
bin
said,
wasn't
they
full
said,
for.
they said,
It was well, like
it,
30, what, 30 something, 40 degrees.
bruh, your ass had to drink. Hey, look, I'm about to say your ass has had to
I
goddamn
don't
drink
even
to get.
look. I was contemplating real hard with that vodka because y'all know I don't drink. So that
Hey,
vodka was looking real good in that cold weather, but I was like, man, I know it's
boy,
gonna warm me
boy,
up. But I
boy,
was like,
that shit warmed us the hell up, bro. I ain't even gonna tell you no lie. But like I said, so the next time y'all go to a Falcon game, home game, we gonna do this again. Y'all make sure y'all go check people's out right here, Mr. Fisher Finest Barbecue, man. They hooked us up real well. They usually at
oh
the
yeah,
blue
oh
lot.
yeah,
So y'all can get that number right there. Look for that grill at the blue lot. Like I said, it was something in that sauce, man, because that sauce had something
man.
special in it.
It had a little kick to it. It definitely had a little kick to it. That's the
Yeah,
thing on show.
yeah. So they hook you up. They hook you up pretty good. So like I said, next time y'all go to a Falcon game, if y'all want to hang out at the tailgate, y'all look for the y'all look for
Yeah,
Mr.
tell
Fish
them AFN sent you. AFN
and
sent you.
AFN sent you. Um and you won't be sorry. Believe me.
Believe you dang sure believe that.
Yeah, Jew got to
Cause
see
look,
how hey, look, Jew got to see how bougie the damn Benz is now. That is
man,
bougie. But let's go ahead and get this thing kicked. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off, man. As y'all already know, like I said, hopefully everybody have a good turkey day tomorrow. Spend time with your family, tell your family you love them, and all that good stuff. Hey, man, let's go ahead and get these three keys out the way, man. So as we look at how this game plays up, hold on. I wish I'd have had this set up beforehand, but you know, we black, black folk, we I don't never do shit on in the right in the right time anyway. But yeah, barbecue so good make you slap your damn self and ask your mama why I slap myself.
what's wrong with you? Slap yourself.
Exactly. Said Pamela said, I hate that I missed y'all. I was there at section
She was right
314.
there with her. What the heck?
314. Shit, you was right
Yeah,
next to
right, right,
her.
what the, yeah, god dang.
We was in 350.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. But hold on. So let's set this up right. Man, come on, phone. You tripping. All right. So as we know, Falcons are gonna be on the road up in Washington. The Falcons, once again, is a 4.5 point underdog in this game. And the over-under is 41 points. Once again, Falcons are underdog. We're 5-6. I think they're 6-5. Something gotta give. So let's go ahead and kick these keys off, man. I'd have stalled enough time, man. Today we're gonna kick our keys off with Mr. Why am I saying Mr.? Well, I'm gonna hit my brother up over here. Mad Mike Sports, man. Go ahead, kick us off. What's your key?
Oh yeah. Oh my
Mike,
my key to victory is
Mike, you done messed up already, man. You know what you supposed to do.
hell, I ain't even say nothing. Damn. Let me say something. I ain't even say something because I forgot what it was. Goddamn. Okay, right, McKee. K-Stop!
Whoa, right now.
And I had to remember what it was.
Oh, that motherfucker. Can't walk and chew gum at the same damn time, man. Dude.
Know me, no, that's damn so true.
All right. I bet y'all probably looking at that like, what the hell does that mean? Who the hell is AJ
Right.
Terry?
Oh man. So the first key is obviously AJ Terry. AJ Terry. What do we mean by AJ Terry? Well, this game is going to be interesting for the most part. You look at the Commanders. I almost said the Commandos, but the Commanders. Somebody need to be punished for that bullshit. But I'm gonna get to the key. Commanders, like who come up with the damn Commanders? But the Washington Commanders, they obviously have a guy in Terry. I can never say his McSandwich, McLaurin. Okay.
You better off would have just said Terry McRib or something like that. That sounds so much worse.
Can't say his name. I always have a hard time saying his name, but McLaurin, he's on the season. I think he has 53 catches, about 700 yards, about 790 yards. And you look at their offense, they have a very good running back. He and you have the Falcons running back and Tyler Algier. Both those guys have about 440 yards apiece. So it's going to be offense is a pretty similar as far as their production is concerned. McLaurin is obviously their go-to guy on the offense. So the Falcons, if they're going to pull this win off, we got to see if AJ Terrell is at 100% because he's going to get that work from McLaurin. And I expect the Falcons to play well, but outside of AJ Terrell, man, I think the focus is really going to be on our safeties, and one safety in particular, that's Jalen Hawkins. I think he's going to have to really help AJ until we know for 100% sure that he's back from that hamstring issue. But I think that's going to be a matchup to really focus on coming to this game. McLaurin, if I'm not mistaken, he was the one that caught that touchdown in the back of the end zone when we played them the first time. And they got TJ Green cut the very next. I think that's his name, but TJ. I know he sucked, and I know
look. Just say whoever the fuck was looking up.
Whoever the hell that was.
Whoever the hell was looking up like this.
Bro, I don't know what that was. So we know that he got a little something, some little spice in this game. So I think the matchup for the Falcons, obviously, like I said, it's going to be AJ. Is AJ 100% healthy? And if not, I think Hawkins is really going to have to, because I think he plays on the right side of the offense. They move him around a bit, but for the most part, going to see if AJ travels with him. If he travels, we know that he's 100%. If he doesn't, which I think will more than likely happen, AJ stay on one side of the field so it kind of preserve him so he won't have to follow McLaurin all the way around. And that's just based on if he's healthy or not. If he's healthy, you're going to see him travel. If he's not healthy, if they have any doubt in whether or not he's healthy, you're going to see him stay on one side of the field so we won't have to take on that guy for the entire game. So that's my key. AJ Terrell, is he healthy? If he's not healthy, we're going to have to focus on Jalen Hawkins kind of helping AJ Terrell out in this particular game.
Man, we already started the show off.
Already.
Yeah. Man, we ain't even started yet. But yeah.
Give me a second.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Jew. So, what do you think about that matchup? Because this is pretty much. Do you think anything would the matchup be any different from what we saw last year?
I think AJ Terrell in this game, if he can follow Terry McLaurin, that would be good because sometimes he does travel. But I mean, Terry McLaurin is one of those guys that's going to kind of get his. Of course, you don't want him to be able to take the game over, but this Falcons team has proven this year that we got playmakers like Hawkins last Sunday with the game-stealing interception.
Mm-hmm.
You see early in the year, D. Alford with the game-winning pick. So we've seen guys. We've seen Richie Grant against Seattle with the game-winning pick. So, going into the season, we were talking about this secondary, the strongest unit on this defense and on this team personally. Like, I think that they're one of the deepest units, and they've proven on the defense that they're the unit that's kind of is the strongest part of our defense is that back end. Yeah, we had some injuries and things of that nature because Casey Hayward went down. AJ Terrell went down for a little bit, but we starting to kind of get back healthy. So, I mean, Terry McLaurin's one of those guys you're not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to throw him the ball probably 10 to 12 times in the game. So he gonna have a catch, but it's just limiting his catches, limiting the damage that he does, which is gonna tie in with your with your key to victory case. So I ain't gonna go too much in depth on it, but Terry McLaurin's one of those guys that's great at run after catch. He's one of the best receivers that many people don't talk about in the NFL because he plays for Washington. So I think that this is a great matchup between him and AJ Terrell, because we know that AJ Terrell is one of those guys who doesn't get the respect he deserves. And I think Terry McLaurin is another guy that don't get the respect that he deserves. He's one of the better wide receivers in the league. So in this game, like I said, you got to just limit him. You're not going to stop him. He's just like the Jamar Chases of the world. He's just like the Kyle Pitts, those guys. You're not going to stop those freak of natures. So he gonna get his catches. It's just about limiting how many yards he gets after those catches. So I definitely think in this game, we know that Dean Pease, his defense is mainly predicated on eliminating the big play, which we've seen for the most part this year. We've done a pretty good job of limiting, those big plays. And I think that that's what it's more about. That's what this game will be about. Not so much of Terry McLaurin having the catches, but how many yards did he get after the catch and what type of damage did he do? Did he take a screen or a slant to the house? Because, those are those game-changing plays. It's not so much of did he catch any passes, but what type of damage he did. So I definitely think AJ Terrell in this game and Terry McLaurin, that's going to be a huge matchup for this team.
Oh, definitely.
Hold on. Let me. This right here. I told y'all. I don't know why people thought I was little. I got a little weight. I ain't as big as K Styles, but I got a little weight on me.
And I lost weight, so yeah, he ain't got yeah.
Hey, he lost weight.
I told you. I told you them folk be looking at us crazy like, well,
It's like,
okay,
I
yeah.
thought you was smaller than that. Nah.
Nah.
All right, don't walk up on Jew. Y'all think Jew's a little kid, a little guy too. All right, don't get crazy.
Nah. Hey, don't let the glasses fool you. I'm telling you right now. Don't let
it fool you. Nah, we had fun though, man.
Yeah, he definitely had fun. Like I said, 3-4. Like I said, yeah, we missed. I guess we missed a lot of y'all. Like after I saw that big ass dude in that Richard Dent jersey and almost fell down the stairs laughing at that shit. I about forgot.
Man, that man had the oldest Richard Dent jersey in the universe, bro.
Man, that shit was like that shit was a 7X. What I saw.
Gucci Mike, that's it. Gucci Mike, I like that. Hey, I like that. Gucci Mike.
Gucci Mike. Hell no. First day out the feds, Mike.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a very interesting matchup. And it's actually gonna tie into what my key is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to mine next. Basically, my key is make the play. Now, Mike kind of said it last year about TJ Green and him looking up into the heavens and letting Terry McLaurin catch the game-winning touchdown. Well, I would say game-winning touchdown, but one of the key touchdowns that kept them in the game. Then we also remember that there was 3 interception opportunities that was dropped. There was at least 4 sacks that should have been made. At least 4 tackles for losses that should have been made. So we have to clean all that up this year. We have to make those plays. This is kind of what we did in the Chicago game, where when you had to make a play, if you had to get a key sack, when you had to get key tackle for loss, the Falcons have to make those plays this week. Like you said, you're in the midst of a possible playoff run, and you're in the right part of your schedule, so you have to take advantage of these games. They're not necessarily a team that I ain't gonna say they don't run the ball a lot, but they throw a lot more than they pass. I mean, they throw more than they run. Now, when you talk about guys like Terry McLaurin, like I say, it's definitely other guys on there. Curtis Samuel, he's kind of like their Swiss Army knife. You got Brian Robinson, and Antonio Gibson. This is a hell of a 2-headed combination. We got our own 2-headed combination as well. But on the like I said, on the defensive side of the ball, when you get an opportunity for interceptions, you have to catch them. When you get in the backfield, you got to sack them. When you run the ball and you got to pick up that block, you got to pick that block up. Hey, make the play. Don't be making business decisions out there, too, because your ass damn sure better tackle, too, because these guys are slippery. And you playing up in Washington. And from what they said, the weather is a possible rainy game. So, yeah, your ass better not be caught lacking out there, because if you do, it's going to be a repeat of what happened last year. And I'll be damned if I got to see that shit again. Look at my face. I'll be damned. If I gotta see somebody look up into the heavens for a touchdown pass again. All
that had
right.
me screaming, bro.
Well, I was mad as hell when I saw that shit. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that, man? What, like you said, you think that will be a major difference as far as those certain type of plays? Whoever wants to kick off that discussion on that.
Jude, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a couple things I want to talk about. And I noticed this at the game last week, and it's something I think we got to clean up on the defensive side of the ball. Like you were talking about, these guys can be slippery. The Brian, I think his name is Brian Robinson, the running back from Alabama. He was a guy kind of wanted for the Falcons in the draft because he's similar to Tyler Algier, where he's just a one-cut downhill physical running back. And in this game, I noticed last week, to me, we have to game tackle better. We have to game tackle. To me, it was too many times where you see one guy like Evans going for a tackle and we weren't game tackling, and the Bears were game tackling. You seen those fumbles last week, and that's another thing that we got to clean up that I want to talk about too, is fighting for extra yardage, knowing when to go down, and as on defense, swarming to the football. Like, yeah, Rashaan Evans or T1000, they may go in for a tackle, but if the guy's still fighting for extra yardage and his offensive linemen are, it's a scrum, I need all 11 hats to the ball. Like, don't just watch Rashaan Evans make a tackle. Because I don't know if you guys are noticing, but Rashaan Evans at this point, I think he got 106 tackles on the season, which is third in the league right now. So he's balling out. But he needs these other guys' help, man. Because these backs are not going down on one-on-one tackles. They're going. Brian Robinson's one of those guys like Tyler Algier. Most of the time when Tyler Algier is running the ball, both him and CP, they're not going down on first contact. So in this game, you're gonna have to swarm the football. When you see one guy get on him, we all gotta swarm to the football and game tackle, and we have to be smart about trying to force fumbles. Because that's what the Bears, I think, did a really good job of last week. CP, broke the long run. One guy grabbed his legs, the other guy punched the ball out from behind. Avery Williams, I don't know what he was doing on that punt return with him trying to stretch the ball like he was reaching for a first down. I don't know what he was thinking.
Hey, look, when they say he fumbled out, we look like, what? What the hell just happened?
I'm like, why is he stretching the ball in that situation? You never separate the ball from your body unless you're reaching for the goal line, and even then they be like, don't fumble that football. And I don't know what he was doing, stretching the ball at the end of a punt return.
It's a kickoff. Why you do? It's a kickoff. It's totally unnecessary.
So it's those foolish plays that we got to clean up, because last week we kind of escaped, even though they got 2 fumbles and we lost the turnover battle. We kind of got away with it. But in this game against Commanders, just like I said, last week was a pivotal game. This game is huge for our playoff hopes, because if we win this game, we have a chance to make the wild card. Because right now, Washington is that team that's like right there at the top of the wild card, if I'm not mistaken, or right below. They're above us though, because they're, I think, 5-5 or something. So you win this game, we both are 6-6, but we own the tiebreaker. We also own the tiebreaker against Seattle. So these are teams that are all fighting for that wild card. So you want to knock off all of these teams we're facing. We control our own destiny. Every team that really has beaten us for a chance at the Bucks, all those teams, we got a chance to get back at those, at those teams. So these teams outside of our division that are in the NFC, the Bears last week, when it comes down to those tiebreakers, you want to own those tiebreakers. So Washington Commanders is that common opponent where if it comes down to the playoffs and we end up having the same record at the end of the year, we want to have this tiebreaker over them. So it's going to be this is a crucial game, but game tackling is going to be very important in this game. And that's why I kind of talked about, Kay, when you said make the play. It's been way too many times this year where I see one guy trying to make a tackle. Other guys are just standing around making business decisions, watching Brady, watching Taquan Graham, watching guys make tackles instead of everybody game tackling, or pushing the guy back. Don't allow those offensive linemen, to push their guys forward and gain an extra 2 or 3 yards. Because how many times have we seen It's a game of inches. It comes down to that 1 or 2 yards you let them fight for. So in this game, we got to be smart on the defensive side of the ball, game tackle these guys. On the offensive side of the ball, it's been 2 weeks in a row. We see guys fighting for extra yardage and fumble the ball. You seen Drake London get the ball snatched out of his hands by Khalil Mack. And then this week we seen both Avery Williams get the ball snatched because he's trying to stretch the ball for some reason. And then you see CP, running hard as always, but not aware that guys are behind him while he's fighting for extra yardage. So those are two things in this game I think is very important. Get as many yards as you can and get down. But if you're going to fight for extra yardage, cover the ball with 2 hands if you're going to try to fight for yardage.
Jarvis said, I guess he tried to say I look like I got black Air Force energy. He said, Jude is the DMX of the group.
Hey, bro.
But
I'm just saying.
But
VA boy.
Exactly. But let me give you an interesting stat that I just read upon, and this is concerning the Commanders' defensive line. Let me read these numbers to you. 15, 14, 22, 12. Do y'all know what those numbers mean?
What does that mean, K-Star?
This is how many quarterback hits that defensive line got individually. Quarterback hits. You got Jonathan Allen with 15 so far. Deron Payne with 14. Montez Sweat with 22. And James Smith-Williams with 12. This is how many times they done hit the quarterback this year on the individual scale.
I got 4 words for you. Run the damn ball. We don't need to be trying to talk about.
They almost got, as a team, they almost got 100. They got 84 quarterback hits coming into this game as a team.
That's nice.
And there's a reason why I said that too. Because it ties into the next part of the show. What you got for it, Drew?
K-Styles, get the graphic.
Wow.
There you go. That was perfect timing, K. Perfect timing. We segue and it's perfect.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, like look.
Mariota.
Look. I was about to say, shoot, that's what we do around here. We give assists.
Yeah, man. But in this game, you just said it best. As Mike just said, run the ball. In this game, Super Mariota, Super Mario, whatever y'all want to call him, the Flying Hawaiian, this is the game where, I don't know if you guys noticed, but one thing that I picked up on this year with Marcus Mariota, when he's decisive as far as running the ball and he's not doing a whole bunch of thinking and he's getting the ball out of his hands quick, that's when he's at his best. So in this game, you were talking about the Commanders, and y'all know I always talk about value in the trenches. Well, the Commanders have done that at its best as far as value in the trenches. All those quarterback hits you're talking about, they got 4 number 1 first-round picks on that defensive line. Sweat, Deron Payne, Allen, and I forget Chase Young, who's coming, I think, this week. So they better have that many quarterback hits. They should have, should be one of the top teams as far as pressure, as far as sacking the quarterback, because they put all of their draft value in their defensive line and in the trenches. So in this game, I think that it's going to be very imperative and important that Arthur Smith uses Marcus Mariota in the run game, just like we seen him do last week, because that's when Marcus Mariota is at his best. We seen when you try to pass first, we seen Marcus Mariota on that Thursday night football game against the Panthers, where he unraveled and everybody wanted him benched. But then you seen last week where he redeemed himself. So we've seen this year when Marcus Mariota's at his best, he's scrambling. That's what he does best. He's decisive. I want to see RPOs. I want to see those plays where it's read option. I want to see those plays because that's when Marcus Mariota not only is at his best, but that's when he can threaten the edge of the defense. Because I really think the strong point of this Commanders team is right up the gut. Deron Payne and Allen, they're not trying to allow you to run the ball and pound it, ground and pound with Algier. We still going to do it and throw those body blows. But you got Mariota to use his legs, and that's when he's at his best, when he's decisive. Even when he's throwing the ball, those quick slants, those are the plays when he's at his best. Even though we've seen Kyle Pitts get hurt running the slant, that's when Marcus Mariota is, deadly accurate, when he can use his legs or challenge the defense on the edge where they think, okay, I got to pause for a second. I can't just come screaming down and rushing the quarterback, because if I forsake the edge, Marcus Mariota is going to run right by me. We've seen that how many times this year where the defensive end come crashing down, outside linebackers come crashing down. Marcus Mariota hits that gap. That's 30, 20 yards, 15-yard explosive run. That's what we need to see in this game. And to be honest, not only does it open up the passing game when Marcus Mariota is using his legs, but it creates creases in the running game as well. When you seen that 4th and 2 with Cordell Patterson last week, it was similar to like an RPO where they didn't know whether Marcus Mariota was going to pull it and take off and run, or whether Cordell Patterson was just going to take it right up on the inside and pick up those 2 yards. So in this game, let Marcus Mariota use his legs. That's when he's at his best. We know he's not a pure drop back quarterback, but that's fine, because this pistol offense, when you allow Marcus Mariota to use his legs and be that threat on the edge, it opens up everything else in the passing game. Because I don't care what anybody tells you, defenses fear a running quarterback because they're unpredictable. At any point, if you don't take the right angle, even last week, they showed a couple plays where Justin Fields, it was him and Lorenzo Carter a couple times on those read option type plays. Lorenzo Carter was actually like in good position, but it was just like, dang, Justin Fields is just a better athlete, where he was just able to maneuver and get a couple yards. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with Marcus Mariota. They got some great athletes. Don't get me wrong. Chase Young, Sweat, but let's see if they can handle Marcus Mariota when he uses his athleticism and does what he does best, which is running that football, not just dropping back, where he's basically stationary, where they can just tee off on him. I want to see Marcus Mariota look. If it ain't there, take off and get some positive yards. In this last game, he didn't have a bunch of big runs against the Bears. He had that one touchdown where I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns, but he had that one where he dove into the end zone, which was like a 9 or 10-yard run. But other than that, you didn't see that 30 to 40-yard run that we've seen a couple times this year out of Marcus Mariota. But what we didn't see last week, and I don't know if you guys seen it in the box score, 0 sacks for the Chicago Bears last week. 0. So even on those plays where Marcus Mariota, he didn't see anything, he ran forward and got a yard or 2. Sometimes it wasn't explosive, but he didn't get sacked for 10 yards. He didn't put us behind the chains.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's very important in this game. We can't get behind the chains. You got to get those 1 or 2 yards.
See, I didn't even have to do it, man. They already did in the chat. They already put fire in the chat. Fire in the chat, bro. That's why we call him the minister, man. He gives you the sermon. You, like I said, you put 5 in the collection plate and call it a day. But before I get to you, Mike, let me get this out the way right quick. So, Mike, what you said about the defensive tackles kind of being the vocal point of this defense, their strong suits inside into the defensive line case. Let me read a couple more numbers out to you. Like I said, I gave y'all the quarterback hits, but Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne have combined for 81 tackles, 13 sacks, 1 safety, 7 pass deflections, 25 tackles for losses. So is that just the case where that, like you said, that zone read and that stretch run game is going to have to be very important here? What do you think? What do you think about what you said about that, Mike?
The one thing that I do know about a defensive front is that once you show the unwillingness to run the ball, they get happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially guys like Deron Payne and Allen, they really get happy because they can just be big and physical up front, and they can just do their thing. And that just once they get confidence, it's hard to stop a defensive tackle once they have confidence. That's the biggest thing. Everybody's so focused on the edge guys, but a guy in the middle of the defense, like he can really destroy your entire game plan. More so than the guys on the edge. Edge guys are easier to game plan. But I think when it all comes down to it, the Falcons, they have one thing that I think is going to be a real. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a war. I really think this is going to be a war between Caleb McGarry and Chase Young. Because everybody expected him to come out and do Chase Young things. But we got an offensive coordinator / head coach, a head coach / offensive coordinator, play caller, and Arthur, who knows that speed guys want to be speed guys. But our guys aren't necessarily good with speed. So he's going to put them guys in position to smash your ass in the face. So I think we're going to see a lot of Tyler Algier. I think we're going to see a lot of Cordero Patterson. We're going to see a lot of Caleb McGarry in this game. Caleb McGarry is going to be a big part of this offense because he's been a man possessed in this run game, man. Like he been whooping ass. And I'm telling you not, I'm telling you, he on that Wolverine warpath right now. He been whooping people's ass. If you in his vicinity, he's knocking your ass out, and he gonna put some hands on you. He gonna put some hands on you. He gonna put his body on you. So Chase is coming back from an injury, so he ain't used to the physicality yet. Let me just say that again. He might be fast. He might be quick. He's going to make some splash plays here and there, but he hasn't gotten used to that physicality. These big guys up front have already – they used to it. They ready. They found their groove. So I think it's going to be a war between Chase Young and Caleb McGarry, man.
Drew Dahlman, you better bring your motherfucking lunch hat. No, I'm looking straight at the Drew Dahlman.
Yeah,
you better pack you a lunch.
Put some bricks in your back pocket in your
Better get you some Blue Chew.
Boy.
Whatever you need. We can't afford for you to have a bad game this week. I got my eye on you.
Okay, got that right.
But you want to go ahead and get into some of these comments right quick, and we're going to kind of answer something. Y'all go ahead, cue it. We're going to Q&A this part up right here, so y'all go ahead, get your questions in. We're going to give y'all a little bit of time to go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's go ahead and put some intermission music on for y'all. So kind of get y'all. No. Throwback.
Hey, Mac, what, boy, you cross-eyed or something? The hell wrong with you? That nonsense. I don't know what everybody sees in Graham. Bro, you got to be, bro, you must be on whatever weed you got. I need some of that shit. How you not see anything in Taquan Graham? That boy's a baller. The hell kind of comment is that? You better be talking about Richard Graham or something like that.
He must have been talking about TJ Graham.
Bro, he better be talking about them crack grams or something that you talking about. The dude has been in the backfield. He's been making plays in the run game. Look, just because a guy ain't getting high sack numbers don't mean he ain't making an impact.
Right.
Just because they ain't paying attention to him during the game, the announcers, I mean, and ESPN and everybody else, he's been featured a number of times this year by Brian Baldinger. Mm-hmm. This dude is balling. Mm-hmm. As K-Style say, balling. So I don't know, bro. Look, he might be talking about telegrams or something, like you said. Look, I don't know what he.
Like I said, we're basing his whole entire season off of that fumble. God damn it, bro. It is what it is. Hey, you gotta let it go. It is what it is. He fumbled. That game is over with. Outside of that fumble, he has been making plays. You have to remember he's a bookend in his defense. He's a bookend, which means he is supposed to grab the attention and let the linebackers do their job.
It's like Dennis Rodman on the Chicago Bulls. His job is to play defense, be the tough guy, get rebounds, and assist Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. That's what his thing. Those guys are very important.
Right.
Called glue guys. I said this on our show the other night. Glue guys. K-Styles know why we got the Keith Smiths on the team. I seen it on Twitter. They showed Keith Smith blowing some linebacker up, and I was like, okay.
And Keith Smith been doing. Keith Smith, like I said, ever since Arthur Smith got here, Keith Smith has been one of the most important guys on this team. Let me repeat that. I'm finna look at the camera again. Keith Smith has been a very integral part of this Atlanta Falcons offense since Arthur Smith got here. When we're talking about the Atlanta Falcon run game as well, he's leading the charge as well. So we got to put respect on Keith Smith's name.
He's been amazing in the run game too.
Just some heroes. Talk about Parker Hesse, the guys that we think that nobody care about are the guys that are making it happen in the trenches. It's the reason why we're a top 5 running team, and it's those guys that we don't give credit to. The Michael Pruitts, the guys that do the dirty work. Those are the guys that have been really stepping up in the running game for us.
Like I said, before the Carolina Panther game, this was a top 10 run defense type of team. And Taquan Graham played a very integral part in that. Like Mike said, just because he doesn't have 7-8 sacks in a season, this season, does not mean he's not making an impact whatsoever.
My thing is, too, like, why do you say you don't see what he's doing? Like, you should be paying attention to those things. When we talk about scheme and defense, the 3-4, the ends, like you said, the bookends, like you were saying, they are vital. And I'm talking about vital. And, like, for one, the edge, it keeps guys off the edge guys. The Ogum Daisies, the Lorenzo Carters, the D'Angelo Malones, at times T1000. They keep those guys clean. It's not so much the guy in the middle that keeps, because Grady been playing a lot of nose, but it's the bookends that keep everybody clean. Because you got to remember, this is a 3-4. You got the linebackers. Most of the middle linebackers, for the most part, are always spread out. They're spread out. You very seldom see the middle linebackers standing next, so they spread out. So having a Taquan Graham in front of him, you have a who was the other guy? I don't know why I just
Timmy Horn.
Timmy Horn, the other guy, Abdullah. Like
Butcher.
those guys have been vital. You know what I'm saying? And keeping those edge guys clean. They haven't been running a lot on our edge. They've been running up the middle. When they get big plays, it's usually straight up the middle. So those bookends are vital. So that's why the Falcons are early in the season, before they had the bad game against Carolina. These guys are top 15, top 10 if I'm not mistaken, top 15 for sure in stopping the run, and that's because of Taquan Graham.
Darnell here got a question here. He said, do you think OZ will be a factor across the middle?
OZ gonna be a factor regardless. I don't necessarily just say across the middle. OZ can line up anywhere. That's why Arthur Smith loves him. Like, he's a utility guy. He's another glue guy. I'm gonna keep saying it. He's another one of those guys. He's a role player. He's great at what he does. Like, you're never gonna think that OZ is like a Pro Bowl type wide receiver. He's one of those guys that you can count on. If you need somebody on 3rd and 7 to make a catch, I don't know how many crucial catches both him and Damiere Byrd this season has come up with in clutch situations where we need a key first down, and it's either Damiere Byrd this year or it's been OZ that come up with a big catch or a difficult catch. And it just seems like, for whatever reason, him and Mariota got a great connection. For whatever reason, we talked about him and Kyle Pitts not being on the same page. Him and OZ, they always seem like they're always on the same page, and he's made so many big catches this year. So I think OZ can line up anywhere. You're gonna see him on the outside. You're gonna see him line up on the inside. You also see him on reverses this year. So any of those type of plays, reverse. He's an all-around player. Special teams, because he also returns punts and stuff like that as well. So OZ is your pure glue guy, utility type player, where he gonna do whatever the team needs. So I definitely think OZ is one of those guys that not just across the middle. You're gonna see him line up everywhere, because he also a guy who can go deep. We haven't seen it this year, but don't be surprised if this week somehow he sneaks behind the defense and makes a big play down the field. This year he's been mainly making those intermediate type catches, running those intermediate type routes. But I think one of the things that's overlooked with an OZ is he understands in zones where to sit down in the zone. That's something that you got to understand, especially as a wide receiver. You got to understand what soft spots are in the zones. And I think that that's something that even Kyle Pitts hasn't figured out yet. And that's why a lot of the times him and Mariota are not on the same page. Because as a wide receiver, when a quarterback is scrambling, sometimes he just needs you to sit down. If the defense is in the zone, because I'm going to throw you into a big hit, just sit down and then just make the catch and fold up. That was New England was known for that. The guys, the Edelmans, those guys, they had the Amendolas, those guys would catch, as I say, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Those guys will kill you if you're in the zone. They'll just, big route everywhere. Big. Yeah, man. So that's something OZ understands.
Hey, man. But that comes with experience too now. And then, like you said, it comes with experience working with certain guys. I was about to say, because Damiere Byrd and OZ kind of reminds me of what Taylor Gabriel and Aldrick Robinson was for us. It's essentially the same two damn receivers.
Great comparison.
Great. Like I said, those are guys that you never really pay attention to when it comes to the scouting reports and stuff. You be like, man, they can't beat them. Who the hell is these guys? But then, like I said, you got Damiere Byrd who may break one off. You got, like you said, OZ. Like his mom here, like Kiera here said, Mariota and OZ used to work together after practice. She said she got it from a source. So that explains a lot. And then you also have to remember too, when you have like situations where you got like smaller guys, like guys that are kind of like those underdog type of guys, they always tend to work together very well. They always tend to work on each other's games. This goes with all sports. Like I said, when OZ came to the Falcons, even we said, "What the little midget is." He pretty much was a guy that was destined for special teams here.
Mm-hmm. Ran about a 4.4, 4.3.
Played at Virginia. I know. He used to burn the shit out of us every time we seen him. But like I said, he's in a system right now where he's being a big part of it. And that's just him working hard on his game. Like you said, Mariota, he ain't started in a couple years. And like I said, he's one of those guys where he was never really the superstar, what we say, the name brand type of quarterback, but he was always one of those right there type of guys. So, especially when he not being starting in the last couple years, he's going to work with the guys that have the most experience. And right now, out of your whole receiving core, the most experience you got is Damiere Byrd and OZ.
Let me get this question here. The thing is with this, do you guys think our defense can finally get off the field on third down? Well, that's when you have a lot of injuries in particular. It's like you got to take into account the Falcons haven't had their number one corner. All right, they haven't had their number one corner, and Michael Walker has been just absolute ass, and I'm talking about ass, AYASS, like he has been ass, okay,
ass.
He's been absolute ass, and they're picking that one particular guy. So until that guy, when you have one chink in the armor, NFL teams are going to go at it until you learn to stop it. Until that person either gets smarter, gets better, they're going to continue to go at it. So they're like, you can't hide a guy that's just not playing well. No matter how much you try, no matter how much it's one thing you can do, and that's getting pressure. Get after the quarterback at a crazy rate. But like even teams that get a lot of pressure, like the Philadelphia Eagles, they still have a lot of holes in their defense as far as the passing game is concerned, and teams just take advantage of it. So like you can't hide those things. So I don't see it getting any better until the Falcons offensively, defensively, they cover up. I wouldn't even say cover up, but they just get more talent. Like the Falcons just don't have a lot of talent. Like that. Let's just keep that real. They got guys that are good at what they do, but when you have multiple guys in your secondary that they're inexperienced, you have multiple guys up front that are inexperienced, and then you have the linebackers. You got a ton of inexperience. That's one reason why they went out and got a Will Compton, inexperienced. So you can want to get better on third downs, but third down conversions, all that's saying is, at some point, the team have to come together and get off the field. Third down is just basically one of those team stats. It's like goal line, getting into the red zone and getting goal line touchdowns. That's a team effort. That's not one particular person. It's just like chemistry with the quarterback and wide receivers. We can say throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, but if you don't have that chemistry with each other, then you're going to see obviously the pass percentage going down. You're going to see on defense if the defense isn't on one accord, you're going to see third down conversions high. Right now, the Falcons have percentage about 46% on third down, and that's largely due to the inexperience that we have on the defense.
I want to just add on to that real quick, Kay.
Go ahead.
What Mike was talking about this on this question, and this is something that Dean Pease, if you guys watch weekly when they do the media sessions, we got to stay out of third and short, third and one. How many times we seen it third and one, third and two, third and inches? I'm like, oh boy, because you can't get after the passer. Like as much as we get on like pass rush, one thing that I was noticing last week when I was at the game, anytime it was like third and six, I'm like, okay, we got a chance to get after the quarterback now because Justin Fields is gonna have to run for his life. He's gonna have to hold on to the ball, and the pressure might get home. When it's third and one, you're not getting home on no pressure because it's going to be a quick slant. It's going to be a quarterback sneak. It's going to be a run up the gut or, a quick run, a quick pass. So you're not going to have a chance to get after the quarterback. So I think that's another thing that is kind of affected this Falcons team. You got to win on first and second downs. If you don't win on first and second downs and you're giving a team third and one, third and two consistently, third and shorts, anything third and three and less, it's hard to get off the field as a defense. And that's what Dean Pease kind of been preaching and been stating every time in the media session when they bring up what's going on with third downs. He's like, we got to put these teams in third and long so AK can pin his ears back. So Grady can pin his ears back. You're not pinning your ears back when it's third and one because they're at that point, the offensive linemen are not finna get ready to backpedal when it's third and one. They finna go forward. So if we can win in first and second downs and kind of create negative plays on those early downs and put them in some third and mediums and third and long situations where the quarterback has to hold on to the football, that's when you'll start seeing more sacks and things of that nature on the defense. Third and one, third and two, it's hard. You're rarely going to see a sack on the third and one and third and two.
And I also think going with that question as well, I'm gonna go ahead and get my take on that question as well. I wouldn't say necessarily that they're not getting off on third downs. The problem is with the defense is they're not getting off the field on third downs early in the games. That's kind of where one of the issues come in when it comes to that third down situation is early in the games. This is where you see the defenses getting ran on.
You have any idea why? You have any idea why they're not getting off early? You want to go into that?
Who?
Yeah, it's a who. We know why. They going in Michael Walker early, and then they make the adjustment to put T1000 in the game.
Yeah. So
we played so much better. We played so much better in second half in every game this year. We make the change, taking Michael Walker out, giving him less reps, and we magically start playing better. No.
Right. And then, like you said, that's where it comes down to, man. Like you said, it's early in the game, and we saw it just this past game. It was Chicago had the biggest difference in this Chicago game was special teams. It was the turnovers really screwed us up this past game, where Chicago had short fields. So
that was all fault. That's what we said. The offense was screwing up early.
Everybody, they were messing up badly. So you put Chicago, because both of them, really, if you think about both of their first touchdown, both of the touchdowns in the first half that Chicago had was on short fields. So, like you said, when it came down to that second half, and we've seen it in multiple games this year. Hell, even in that ass whooping we took against the damn Cincinnati Bengals, where they beat us, what was it, 35-17?
Something like that.
The first damn play, it seemed like the first play was right up the damn middle, like 50 yards or something like that.
Right. But the thing about it is the defense only gave up 7 points in the second half that game.
So it's adjustments. We
It's
just don't
just
have enough talent on this team so we can stay in the game or get off to a fast start, because fast starts are primarily due to the fact of talent. Okay, you get off to fast starts is because you got the talent to get off to quick starts when guys aren't necessarily into it. Like, it takes certain guys to get warmed up, especially the guys that are, I won't say below average, but the guys that aren't superstars, it takes them time to get into the game. So when you got guys that are good, yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. But we don't have the talent to get off the fast start. That's one thing the Falcons, if you go back and look at how we was under Kyle Shanahan, we had so much talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We would just blow teams out we would get a jump out to like 21-3 in the first quarter. And from that point on, Matt Ryan would just hand the ball off to Tico, and he would hand it off to Devontae, and we just pin our ears back and went to get sacks. So that's the recipe, but we don't have that talent, so it takes us time to get warmed up, and that's why you see the Falcons play so much better, is because one, guys are finally in a rhythm, and two, the coaching, they in the rhythm. So when you start seeing the Falcons get more talent, I promise you guys, we're gonna start getting off the fast starts. I promise you that.
And Raven here said, remember when we put Troy Anderson in the Tampa Bay game, the defense was getting stops and 3 and outs.
Just saying.
But like I said, Michael Walker played a little bit better this past game. Like I said, he made some plays, but like you said, with him, it's just more so of the consistency. Like I said, this was definitely kind of it was kind of an actual good game, because you was going against a quarterback that doesn't trust his own damn skill set outside of running the ball. So it kind of allowed you to be who you were. But
I want to say one thing, Kay, about Michael Walker before you move on. And I don't know, and this is why we keep saying he should be an outside linebacker. You guys notice every time he's rushing the passer or spying the quarterback is when he makes a big play. Like this last game, I don't know if you guys picked up on the one play where Grady almost had the interception early in the game. It was him rushing the passer. Well, he was coming on a blitz, like a delayed blitz, and he basically just jumped up and batted the football in the air. Grady almost intercepted it. And then I think in the game where Zoe had the pick against Carolina in the first Carolina game, it was Michael Walker on the delayed blitz. He jumped up in the air like he was going to bat the pass, and the quarterback didn't see Zoe behind him. He tried to throw the screen pass. He didn't see Zoe behind him. He ended up throwing the pick six. So this is the reason why we keep saying, like, Michael Walker, he's not a bad player. He's playing out of position. If you put him on the outside and where he doesn't have to think and just allow him to be one of those guys that's securing the edge, he's blitzing, he's spying, he's doing those things when he's close to the line of scrimmage, that's where he's most comfortable. We keep saying it. It's not to take Michael Walker off the field, because Mike just said it. We don't have a ton of talent. We got a lot of young talent. Let's say it like that. We don't have a lot of developed talent. So I feel like if you take the thinking portion out of it for Michael Walker, just let him, like, I notice when he's blitzing and when he's not second guessing, he's not in coverage, that's when he's at his best. When he's getting cooked, when he's either when they running the ball directly off the ball,
right there.
Right.
Yeah. And when he has to think and has to cover guys is where he struggles. But I notice when he's making plays, it's when he's on the edge coming downhill. He's jumping up, batting passes. He's getting after the quarterback, because he actually did a pretty solid job on a couple plays last week when they had him spying. because he's a good athlete. He's an athlete. He can flow sideline to sideline, but they just need to change his position. He's an outside linebacker. That's what he does best. He's not a middle linebacker. He just doesn't have those instincts to play off ball. Some guys need to be on the ball. He's a guy that needs to be on the edge. Play him a look where they playing Malone. Play him on where they play D'Angelo Malone and where they playing Zoe. Just sub him and let him do that. But I would let Evans and T1000 be the guys that are the middle linebackers or the inside linebackers.
Right. Yeah, like you said, I agree with you. Like I said, Michael Walker is one of the most athletically gifted players we got on the team. But like I said, when you just put him in a situation where he's got to control the flow of the game from the middle linebacker spot, it's like, shouldn't I? I don't know. And it's hesitancy, and that's where he gets targeted at a lot.
Mm-hmm. Get caught in no man's land.
He's not. He gets in trouble. It's almost like a lack of confidence on the field for him. But like you said, when they telling him, when they put the hot sauce in his burrito, baby, and he's going downhill, and got to go to the bathroom. Like, oh boy, yeah. That's where he plays his best at. That's where he get a lot. That's where he got his couple of his picks at. Like you said, spying, blitzing. Let him do that, and believe me, you got a whole completely different player. I think we get this one more right here. So why was Darby called up to the active roster?
The hell you think? No Kyle Pitts.
No Kyle Pitts, and like
you got a damn play. The hell?
Somebody, yeah.
You want Parker Hesse out there?
Y'all notice Parker Hesse don't get the ball thrown to him no more.
At all. They throw
They throw the ball to Mike Cole. They throw the ball. They have more faith in Mike Cole Pruitt catching passes.
Look, I'd rather pass the damn ball to Keith Smith than pass that motherfucker to Parker Hesse. I'll take Frank Darby.
Yeah. But Frank Darby like I said, he's very key in special teams. I give him credit on that. He's a very good gunner. That's not a bad thing, people. If you're a special team player, that is not a bad thing. You do realize special team guys actually have better chances of getting jobs than most guys in the league. Why am I going out of focus? The first time I saw Frank Darby out there, where I really paid attention, where I saw Frank, that they showed him hyping the crowd up. I knew that.
Wow,
that's dirty, man.
No, I'm dead ass serious. Like I said, I didn't know he was in the game, but like I said, I'm talking about when they actually put a focus on him was when he was hyping the crowd up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, Millie Mills said, "Can we all agree that Zach Wilson officially sucks?"
Man, we said that 2 years ago. Man,
you way behind. I'm the first one that said I was not feeling that mode. I was not feeling that.
We actually have a film session. We have a film sessions every year on quarterbacks after the shows. And as soon as I saw him, I was trying to figure out what's so special about him besides him running around. It wasn't a damn thing. So him struggling is not surprising to neither one of us.
And like you said, the narrative gonna be on that too. Is well, the Jets are 5-2 as a starter, but bruh, when you throwing your team under the goddamn bus like you did, bruh, they don't, like I said, that sets the wrong message. Where if they asking, did you feel like you let your defense down by scoring only 3 points? You saying, no, I didn't. You scored 3 points. You lost 10-3.
You can't even get 10 points as a quarterback. We got a problem.
That's a bad look right there, man. And like you said, and I think they said they're gonna have him inactive. Hell, there was a lot of quarterbacks that actually got benched today. Damn, Davis Mills got his ass benched. We about to see Bryce.
I told y'all what the problem is with quarterbacks. It's simple. It's a simple problem. I've been saying it for about 3 years now. What the problem is with quarterbacks. I don't know. Look, one day y'all gonna learn to listen.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, like I said, when you have a quarterback and like I said, Zach Wilson kind of has that vibe of a spoiled brat. Like when you look at him, you can tell he's kind of like the bratty type. And that was
I don't like his damn hair. Like I just want to cut that shit off his damn head. Like I just don't like his damn hair.
He look like a douchebag. That's what you try to say?
Yeah, he just look like a damn douchebag. Just like yeah. You know, what the name is Johnny Bravo? I just want to cut that shit off.
Hey, little mama. Yeah, how about me and you going to date and we do this like this? I mean, that's probably what he was telling his mama's friends. You know, he was busting down his mama's friends and stuff like that. So,
that man ain't smashing on Giselle. Man, look, Giselle up there getting her some Nick. No, man. Oh,
bro, you almost the fuck. Woo, boy, don't go there.
Oh boy, I got that slip. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh man.
Hey, I had to catch y'all.
We need to end this show, man. Before I keep on talking. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think it said Davis Mills got benched. Like I said, we're gonna see Bryce Perkins with the Rams. They said Zach Wilson's mama is bad.
I mean,
she can get it.
What she got?
I mean, she ain't ugly. She can get it, but it's like just for him, for his sake. Like I said, he just looks like a little spoiled brat.
Right.
His mama is an Instagram model, so that's all you need to know right then and there. That was doomed to fail from the get-go. So let's go ahead and end this show. We done went past the threshold on time. So let's go ahead and end this show, man. Let's go ahead and do this right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it came on this time because the computer been acting crazy. So we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in to the Heavy Hitters. Appreciate y'all letting us have y'all time discuss some Falcon football here. And make sure y'all have a good Turkey Day tomorrow. Make sure you have a good time with your families. So, like I said, make sure you go ahead and continue to support. Subscribe to GSN Mad Mike Sports. Jew Talk Sports. 6-Man K Styles. Make sure y'all go and continue to show us some love, man, because we trying to do this thing. We trying to get this out here. Because if you look at these nationally syndicated programs when it comes to either ESPN, Fox Sports 1, the Atlanta media in itself, when it came to talking about this past weekend's game, when they talked about the Bears versus the Falcons game, the only thing they talked about or how sorry they felt for Justin Fields because he got hurt. Kyle Pitts got hurt in the same game. They didn't give two shits about Kyle Pitts. Justin Fields got hurt at the end of the game. That was the most important player that they only cared about. They didn't talk about Cordell Patterson's record. They didn't talk about the Falcons win. All they talked about was Justin Fields. So, you need platforms that's going to give you Atlanta Falcon content, whether it be more so on the positive side of things. So y'all keep on supporting the heavy hitters, ATL. As we always say, man, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the hell up out of here.
4 quarters, baby. Deuces.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, too. And don't be posting pictures online talking about this is what I'm eating. We all eating the same shit.
Damn. Good God Almighty.
Deuces.